Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. I was wondering about what my video should be about today. And this morning I and Tony were talking and he started asking me questions related to Women's Day. And I got the feeling that it's almost turning into like a tag question thing. So I thought I will take inspiration from that and make a Women's Day tag video. So let's get started. Out of the questions that Tony asked me this morning, I found 4 questions to be really interesting. So those are the ones I'm going to talk about in my video today. And the first question is, my answer to that question was Malala Yousafzai, mainly because she is so young. For a girl to be that young and haven't gone through what she has been through at a very young age and still have the kind of wisdom that she does, to be at your teens and inspiring the entire world and understanding the importance of education and being the voice of all the ladies and girls out there that are not allowed to study and are not encouraged for education. I think that itself is like a huge pillar of support for all the women out there. So if she is doing all this at such a young age, I can only imagine what she would do in her later years and what kind of voice she would be for all of us women around the world. So yes, my vote is for Malala for being the most inspiring, renowned feminist out there. I have to say it was the moment when I held my daughter in my arms. Um, it is something that any woman can say, especially those who have given birth to a child feel like that was one huge thing that they have done. For me, there is the story behind giving birth to my child, and that happens to be a long one, so I'll make it as short as possible. I happened to marry someone that I didn't even know what I was with him for, other than the fact that I loved him. But in my mind, I didn't quite understand what love with a man exactly is like, and that might sound very weird, but I have a history of where I was molested when I was very little, and that got me to where for a long time in my life I thought it was okay for somebody to touch me or do things that are wrong. And then as I grew into my teen years, I started learning that that is actually supposed to be a wrong thing. And then when I was really supposed to enjoy the feeling of being with a man and understanding sex as also lovemaking, I didn't understand that part. I completely shut myself off from it. So when I did get married to this guy, who is now my ex-husband, first of all, it was someone who was much older than me, was not from my culture or religion or far from where I come from. And so he was not accepted in my family. My parents did not accept my relationship with him or my marriage. And after marriage, I had a lot of trouble with him because I didn't understand sex as in making love. And he was someone who was not willing to understand where I'm coming from. So lovemaking part became very, very forced and pushed for me. And I was not sure what I was doing at that point. So what was supposed to be an act of getting together, making love, and giving birth to a child, which would represent my relationship, was almost like something I didn't even know how it occurred. And one day all of a sudden I was pregnant when I didn't think I could get pregnant or wanted to be pregnant. And then came the struggle of being pregnant and holding that child in my womb for 9 months, and I was going through extremely hard times where I was not eligible for food stamps. I could not go out and work legally, so it put me in a spot where if I got hungry, it was hard to even go out and get what I want because I didn't have the money to. So I had to depend on friends to feed me something besides what I got from Needline or whatever the churches offered me over here. So I had a really hard time during my pregnancy, and the time when I gave birth to my child, there was another story where she was stuck in my pelvis structure because my pelvis structure did not expand and she was in the wrong position, so I couldn't push her out, and the umbilical cord was around her neck. So basically I was in the hospital from 3:30 a.m. until 5, and I gave birth to her through C-section at 5:40. And yeah, that is my story. And after that, when I actually held that child in my arms, she was so beautiful. She was so, I think these are words that every mother says, but I'm just going to say that that was one moment where I looked at my baby and I felt that everything I went through was worth it. I believe the very first school in every child's life is the house that they are born and raised in, and their parents happen to be their very first teachers. And what they learn from their siblings and their family is something that lasts for them throughout their life, no matter which school, which college, which new friends they make, or where they go in life. Those are the major things that they learn from a very young age with their family, with their parents, their siblings. So I believe that Women's Day should be celebrated in the house, at least on one day of the year. Maybe we can have a time like maybe 30 minutes or during dinner or something where we just sit and discuss the women in the family, the ladies, the sisters, the aunts, the moms, the grandmothers. Just sit and discuss that with your child. Talk to them that today is Women's Day, and so we are going to talk about the girls in the family, and we are going to talk about how they help and contribute in our family, so that our job as ladies is not taken as for granted, and the men in the family from a very young age learn about what kind of role the females play in our life. And once they have that little seed of respect sowed in their little minds when they are little, I think they will grow up to be individuals who would respect women in general, and therefore will not see them as a second-class citizen or someone who is just a body, and will see them more as an individual with a soul and mind and intelligence and the powerful beings that we are. One message, my one message to the women out there would be that you are worthy of love and affection. You don't have to compare yourself to anybody out there. You don't have to be a certain somebody or have a certain color or a certain body shape or have certain qualities. You are enough. You are worthy of love. You are someone that other girls want to be like. You are somebody that most guys out there would desire to have in their life. unless and until we understand that about ourselves, unless and until we believe that about ourselves, we cannot find love and affection from anyone else. The love and affection has to begin from us, from within us. We have to believe and have faith and tell ourselves every day that we are worth it, that we are worth all the love this universe has, and we deserve affection. And if someone else does not give it to you, you need to take the time to love yourself and appreciate who you are, because every good thing in your life begins with you. Stop taking yourself for granted just because others do. Put your foot down and say you are going to love yourself from today onwards, and start giving yourself little gifts every day. And I don't care if they are as simple as taking a 15 minutes of extra nap, or reading maybe a page of a book that you really want to read, or whether it is going out and buying maybe just a lipstick or a pair of earrings, or whatever your heart desires. It does not have to be expensive and grand, or you don't have to go on a vacation or something like that. Do what is in your capacity, but do it because you are worth it. So with that comes the end of this video. I hope you all will also try to think about the answers to this question. I am tagging everyone who's watching this video at this moment. And I will see you all next Monday right here on It's a Ghost's Life. Until then, bye bye.